How are you doing? So, give me 2 seconds here. I hope you guys had a wonderful Monday. Mine was great. I was actually out of town this weekend teaching, which is, if you know me, that's my passion. I just love to share information and empower. I think the biggest thing is when I see that light bulb go off when someone, when I'm explaining something to someone and they finally get it. Like for me, that is like super, super exciting. So I have been doing a lot more teaching, of course in dentistry, of course in implant dentistry, because that's what I love to do, but also just kind of stepping out of my comfort, like coming on here tonight, like after work, and just ad-libbing. Like I like to plan everything, but I'm learning that, sometimes when you do have a word or something to say at that point, to send it out, because you never really know who you're impacting at that very moment. So I wanted to come on air because lately I have been on social media a little bit more and being very intentional in what I post. And someone had asked me, how do I balance life and family and my job and still take care of myself? Sorry about that. So, that cliche work-life balance, I think it's a cliche now. So there is something like that. It's work-life balance, but I like to call it living your best life. So because having work-life balance does not mean that you're spending equal time with work and equal time with home or play. It just means that you have found that ratio that works for you at that time. So for me, sometimes it's different at different seasons. Like at my job, pretty much I tend to see more patients in the spring. So you would see me maybe be more involved in work in the spring. And then the summertime is a little slower in terms of patient care. So you would see, for me, I spend more time with the kids then. So it's not an equal spend of time. It's just that you are balancing it where you are at your best at every time. That's why I said it's living your best life. So work-life balance. So somebody had asked me in my DM and said, how do you maintain work-life balance? And it's a hard question to answer because I don't think there is a work-life balance. I do think that you can choose to live your best life at the moment. So I kind of wanted to talk about there's so many things that we can, as mothers and wives and sisters, we can do to try to make sure that we have a good balance of life and play and work and self-care, to make sure that when we have a good balance, then we can be at our best at every time, So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the comparison. Like for you to live your best life, you have to stop comparing. There is only one you. There's only one me. Like honestly, like God made me so special that there is not a person. Oh shoot. Sorry. That there is not another person in this world that is like me. There is not another person in this world that is like you. So the first thing you want to do is stop comparing. In this world of social media where you only see the me that I want you to see, like you can't compare to the me on social media. Like you don't see my struggles. I don't see your struggles. Like you don't know what happened at my job today. You don't know what's going on with my kids. Because most people will not put that on social media, right? We're not that vulnerable to put that on social media. So one of the first things is to be able to live your best life. You have to learn what is you authentically. And that is a separate message for another day. But you have to stop the comparison because that's going to be it. Like don't compare not even compared to another I don't compare to another dentist because they have a different life, you know. The second thing to have, well, I don't like to use the word work-life balance, but the second thing to living your best life is you have to take care of you. So I always tell people that you can't pour out of an empty cup. Like moms and like me, I do it. So like I'm really speaking to myself. You can't like give so much of yourself that you're spent. I'm only at my best when I feel great, I'm rested, you know, I'm not stressed. So please, you've got to take care of you first. Like that's kind of the biggest thing. And you know, self-love also is another cliche now. Like find out what it is for you that makes you feel good and 100%. For some people, it's going to the spa. Again, for you, it might be, you know what, I need an hour to read a book. You know, for me at some point, like years ago when my kids were younger, you know, so my youngest one would want to go in the bathroom with me. And I'm like, can I get some privacy? So as soon as I get home, like if I need an hour, I kid you not, I would take a book and I would go hide in the toilet. And he'll knock on the door and it's like, Mommy, are you done with your privacy? It's like, nope, I'm not done with my privacy. And and so, you know, it took that. And then I was talking to a friend this week and I was like, you know, sometimes I want to go walk around at Walmart. Like, to be honest, like I'm not buying anything. I just need to walk around at Walmart and buy nothing. So for you, it could be a spa date. It could be a staycation. It could be you just laying in bed. It could be watching a movie, but put some time in for you. Once you put some time in for you, you can give of yourself to your family. A lot of the stresses, a lot of maybe the guilt we have is that when our kids come, we're not paying attention to them because we're doing 100 different things. So like, you know, I like to take care of me. And then when I'm taking care of my kids, like it's all about them and I can give them 100%. So that's the second thing. The third thing, and this is where there's always a lot of conversation, delegate, please. You know, so I'm sure most of you know that I am Nigerian and I grew up in a Nigerian home, right? So when I was growing up, my mother, she worked, but we had so much help around the house. Some of you know, if you know, kind of let me know in the chat box. Like my aunt stayed with us. Like there was always someone, there was always a neighbor. So somebody would make lunch for us or there was always someone there. And so we grew up almost in a community. But it helped, you know, that's why I never, like, sometimes I wonder if I'm going crazy because I can't get to do everything all together. And I realized that my mom never did either. She just had so much help, but it was so much part of that culture that it didn't seem strange. So in this culture, delegate. It's not a bougie thing. Trust me. If you work, I work. I see patients all day. If you have to like order Chinese, it's okay. Like, stop feeling guilty about, how do I say it? So most of us, it's not even the fact that people are going to be like, oh, you're bougie. It's always the fact that, oh yeah, I'm not going to pay for someone to clean my house. I'm not going to spend all that money. See, the problem with most of us is that, yes, we don't want to spend the money. The money's in the bank account, but you're stressed. Like, I'm not going to be stressed when the money is just sitting in the bank account. The reason why I work hard is so I can live my best life. So get a caregiver if you need to. Get a house cleaner if you need to. You know, I'm not saying live outside of your means, but like get the help. You know, ask your friends, like, you know, have a friend and say, hey, can you watch the kids today? And I'll watch your kids tomorrow. Like, you can get very creative with it, but you know, we have to set intention that 2021, the best version of ourselves is what's going to show up. And you can't set that intention. I keep saying this because you can't set that intention on December 31st. You have to set that intention now, you know, that you're going to take care of you so that you can be the best business person, the best mother, the best sister, the best friend that you can be. after coming out of 2020, with all that we've been through, and we've all been through a lot, I think we need to get ready to, like, we have a lot of grounds to make up, right? But I think 2020 has also made us more aware of the things that are important. You know, I definitely have valued like the short times I get to spend with my friends, which is, at this point, it's more virtual. You know, I value just human contact that you take for granted before. I value, I don't know. I just value a lot of things. 2020 has been an eye opener, and it's been a year where I feel like the reset button has been pushed, and I'm starting life all over again. And I'm also stepping out on water and knowing that I do carry a gift. 2020 has allowed me to figure out that I do carry a gift. I don't know if it's figure out. I've always known, but I've always been just so worried about what others will think. Like, okay, what's she talking about? But, you know, I know there's somebody out there that probably I have something to say, or God has placed something on the inside of me to say to them. So I am going to step out on water and just say it, you know, and I just, that's my job, is to say it. It's God's job to touch their heart or whatever. But I just implore you to take care of you, like live your best life. Like, it's so important, because we're not promised tomorrow. Like, we're promised today. So what we make of today is so important. So live your best life. That was all I wanted to say. I just wanted to, and then, you know, I think that was it. Those were the 3 points I wanted to talk about. There were so many other points, but again, I was kind of scared I was going to be on here. I was like, oh my God, I need to be done in like 10 minutes. And I also want to listen to the president-elect, Joe Biden, give a speech. I am telling you, this right here, excitement. I know. All right, y'all. This is Dr. Jumoke. Welcome to my page. I am hoping that I would do this more, and we can share, we can dialogue. And yesterday I did mention something I've been thinking about, that God has been laying on my spirit, the circle of growth. Not going to talk about it tonight, because I'm still kind of, you know, when you get a word and you're still kind of stewing on it and trying to like really figure things out. So I have a notepad completely full. So we're going to be sharing some word here. Okay. It's just so amazing, because I just see what God is doing with us. And I know 2021 is going to be, all right, the year of unusual, you know, unusual breakthroughs. Like, anyway, I'm not a prophet, but I'm just telling you, like, get ready. But I keep telling people, like, we need to, like, it's not New Year's Eve resolution. It's New Year's strategy. That's what we need to work on. Like, start strategizing, start writing things down. Like, you know, set intention, write it down, so that he that runs may read it. Like, go ahead and write down those incredible things that you want to happen, that you are not sure if it's going to happen. Like, your job is not to make it happen, okay? Your job is to set your intention, write it down, and then watch it happen. All right? Thank you so much. I love you. And remember that you are enough. Have a good evening.